Hey, welcome back to the Big Rant Show. As always, thank you for joining me. If you could, give me a subscribe and hit that little bell out beside the subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything from the Big Rant Show. As well, don't forget to check out our new channel over at vid.me. The link will be in the description below. Now let's get right to it. Now, the other day, North Korea did a missile test. This missile test proved that they have the capability to launch missiles that can hit anywhere in the United States. This is a major problem and a major headache, I'm sure, for the Trump administration. I've had a lot of bad things to say about Donald Trump, but the one thing that he has been very accurate on is the fact that something has to be done about North Korea. I may disagree with some of the ways he's gone about saying we need to deal with North Korea, but it is seeming more and more plausible that war with North Korea may be inevitable. Now, the problem with this is I hate the idea, one, of war. Two, I hate the idea of what could potentially be a nuclear war. It was bad enough when Kim Jong Un over there in North Korea had missiles that could reach Guam and things like that. But now we're talking about reaching all the way to New York City, all the way to Washington, D.C., all the way to Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, L.A. It doesn't matter. And if they have nuclear warheads that can reach that far, or that are small enough to fit on these rockets that can make them go this far, we're in for a world of hurt if we don't do something to stop them. Now, I'm no warmonger here. I hate the idea of war, but when a country has missiles that can kill you, can reach our country and reach our mainland, and those can be nuclear warheads, and they have threatened to wipe us off the planet numerous times, it comes a point in time where it has to be an us versus them situation. Clearly, Donald Trump wasn't able to get China to take care of their responsibilities here, or Russia, and Russia didn't help either. And so we're the only ones left that are actually trying to stop North Korea from doing something crazy. And unfortunately, we have Donald Trump in the White House, who's isn't a calm and collected kind of character. Now, I suggest to Kim Jong Un over in North Korea that he slow his roll a little bit, because Donald Trump, he is not Barack Obama. He is not going to sit there and take lightly any kind of threat you make, whether you intend it to be, just rhetoric to get your military hyped up and get your people hyped up or whatever. Donald Trump doesn't play like that. Donald Trump will kill you. He will bomb the living hell out of your country. Don't get it mixed up here, folks. I'm not a big supporter of Donald Trump, but I do know the kind of person we're dealing with in our White House. We are not dealing with a rational human being. We're dealing with an egomaniac who, if you're going to sit there and continue to harass our nation, he is going to retaliate. Now, the thing is, we have to be smart in how we do this, and I hope Donald Trump will pay attention to the fact that that Kim Jong-un is trying to bait us into a war. What we have to make sure is that we don't make the first move. Okay? We have got to make sure that we are seen in the world as not making the first move on this. Because if we do, it's going to be Iraq all over again. We're going to be there with a small coalition of people, and we're going to end up making a huge mess. And this is not something we can easily take care of. But let's get to the missile test itself. Not only has the world repeatedly condemned these missile tests, each missile test has shown over and over again that they can reach here. And our capabilities are not fully tested, or not fully proven, for a defense against nuclear missiles or even conventional weapons, to be taken out of the sky. We have programs in place, but even in our own testing, when we knew the missile was coming, they're only roughly 50-50. So what do we do? And unfortunately, it's looking more and more like the possibility that we're going to have to take preventive action as much as we don't need to. if we invade North Korea without sufficient cause, and then we get there and we invade this country, the rest of the world's going to step away from us, and they're not going to work with us anymore. China's not going to want to be trade partners anymore. We owe them a lot of money as well, and they could end up calling in what we owe. We could piss off, South Korea, one of our big allies in the region. We're already having a little problem with them because their current leadership is talking unification with North Korea. And if you want my complete honest opinion about it, I think North Korea and South Korea probably would be better together than they are separate. But the problem is, the only way that you're going to get a unified Korean Peninsula is if South Korea and North Korea go to war and one side wins. But the problem is, they have nuclear weapons. At any moment, North Korea could wipe South Korea off the planet. They could easily knock LA off our map and kill hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Americans. So something has to be done. The question is, what? What do we do? Do we sit by and let this guy keep amassing all these weapons that he's threatening to blow us off the face of the earth for? Or do we take some kind of preemptive action? Because obviously, strong sanctions aren't working. They're not forcing them to the table. Threatening the full brunt and force of the U.S. military is not working. So what do? Do you convince China to invade North Korea? Do you convince South Korea to join the U.S. and help invade North Korea? Or do we take another approach and use cruise missiles and things like that to knock out their nuclear sites? That way they can't, or their launch sites, that way they can't launch missiles. We've got to do something. But Kim Jong-un is a threat not just to the United States, but if he can get to the United States, he can get to Europe. And he can get to other parts of Asia for sure. I'm sure that means he can probably get to Russia. So the stakes in this game are huge. The stakes are huge. This man could end up killing millions and millions of people just on a whim because he felt like it one day. So that said, just be sure to watch the space. I'll keep tabs on what's going on with North Korea. I'll try to bring you another video over the weekend over it if I can find more information. But the news right now is that Kim Jong-un and North Korea have tested more intercontinental ballistic missiles, capable apparently of carrying nuclear warheads, and these weapons with a nuclear warhead now could reach all the way across the entire United States map. That said, I don't want anybody living in fear of nothing. This isn't about fear mongering. This is just straight talk about how we have to do something. Something has to be done. Either we're going to take preemptive action, which I think would be terrible for us to do, but may be necessary, or the rest of the world has got to do more to stop North Korea from what they're doing. Anyhow, y'all have a great day, and I'll see you down the road.